All right, guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of the Unit 5 review. All right, we're on number 15. It says, give the rate of change for each line shown. Guys, remember, rate of change is just a fancy word for what? Slope. Very good. So I'm trying to find the slope of these two lines. Now, these are special cases, right? Guys, I look at my line right here. This is going side to side. Side to side means horizontal. So this is what we call a hoy, right? Hoy going down, the H is horizontal. And then the middle one tells you what the slope is. It's an O, but the O is actually a 0. This means 0. So that's what my slope is. My slope, my rate of change is 0. However you want to write that. Okay, now for the next one. So the first, number 15 was side to side, but this is an up and down line. This is what we call vertical. So this is my special case. This is a VUX. So the V stands for it being a vertical line, vertical. So the U means that my slope, again, we're talking about slope here. I'm going to write that down here, slope. That means the U stands for undefined. So if you have a vertical line, my slope is what we call undefined. All right, number 17. What is the rate of change for the equation y equals 5x minus 3? Again, y'all, rate of change is just slope. Y equals 5x minus 3. Try that again. 5x minus 3. This is in y equals mx plus b form. M is your slope. It's always married to x. So in this case, my rate of change, my slope is 5. My slope is not 5x. My slope is just 5. What is the y-intercept for the equation y equals 3x plus 6? Again, this is in y equals mx plus b form. The b, the number added or subtracted from the end, that's your y-intercept. So in this case, my y-intercept is at the point 0, 6. Since that number being added on at the end is 6. Number 19 says, determine the slope and the y-intercept for y equals negative 2x plus 8. Y'all, y equals mx plus b. So the number in front of x is my slope, so that would be a negative 2. And my y-intercept is my b, so that would be 0, 8. Those are some gimme questions. Number 20 is multiple choice. We all love multiple choice. Which graph represents a line containing the point 5, 0 and has a slope of 2? So I need the point 5, 0. So that means that my x is at 5 and my y is at 0. Okay, now I will give it to you that these are a little tricky to see, but x of 5, y of 0. Guys, this is my x-intercept. So I just need to look at my x and my y-axis. And I need to see which one of these crosses at 5 on my x. Now, number 8, so sorry, y'all. I'm talking about part B. I was about to say number B. Y'all, I'm losing my mind. Answer choice B, if I look at my x-axis, this does not look like 5 to me, right? So I feel like I can already eliminate answer choice B. Same thing with D. Does that look like 5 to you? No, it does not. Now, for answer choice A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks good. Let's look at C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that one also looks good. Now, we've just got to see which one has a slope of 2. Now, my slope of 2 means I'm going up 2, right 1 each time. So let's look at answer choice A. If I go up 2, right 1, do I hit my line? No, I don't. So A is not looking good. Let's check C and make sure. I go up 2, right 1, I hit my line. So that means that C is my answer. All right, what are the slope and the y-intercept of the line shown? Let's start with my y-intercept just because it's a lot easier to identify on a graph. X is side to side, y is up and down. Looking at my y-axis, I cross right here. I go down 1, so that is at the point negative 1. So my y-intercept is at the point 0, negative 1. Now, I'm going to choose 2 points that they give me. And again, I read from left to right. Guys, I'm going to choose these 2 points right here. And again, guys, knowing that my slope is rise over run. So I'm going to count. I already used that color. Let's use a different color. Ooh, let's use yellow. So I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I go right 1, 2, 3. So I went up 4, right 3. So my slope is 4/3. Number 22. Joseph opened a bank account with $1,000. Over 2 years, he only had $450 remaining. Identify the rate of change in which Joseph lost money. Ooh, this is a good problem. Okay, so Joseph opened his bank account with $1,000. Okay, then after 2 years, he only had $450 remaining. So guys, here's what I'm going to do. They want me to identify the rate of change, so that means I want to find the slope, right? Now, in this case, I'm going to say that X is my time and Y is my money. So I'm going to kind of set this up as 2 points, so that way I can put it in stat edit and make my life a lot easier. So I know after 0 years, so that means at the very beginning, right? Joseph had $1,000, okay? And then after 2 years, Joseph only had $450. So guys, now that I have 2 points, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this in stat edit, okay? Just to make my life a lot easier, right? I'm gonna put my X's right here in L1, and I'm gonna put my Y's in L2. So let's look, let's go stat edit. Guys, I already have things in my list. So I go up to L1, press clear and enter. Do the same thing with L2, go up to L2, press clear and enter. Okay, in L1, I'm gonna type in 0 and 2. Then in L2, I'm going to type in 1,000, and I'm going to type in 450. I press stat again. I go over to calc, and I want number 4 for a linear. And what I want is my slope, my rate of change. That is my A value right there. So my slope, M, is -275. So he is spending $275 every single year. All right. A function is described by the equation f of x equals x squared plus 4. The replacement set for the domain is -4, -2, 1. What is the corresponding set for the range? Now, guys, do not let this confuse you. They are just using a bunch of random jargon and lingo that they're going to use to try to confuse you on the EOC, right? So here's what I'm going to do. They give me my function, and they give me my x values. Do we agree that domain is x? So what I want to do is I want to find the y values of this function for all of these given x values. And again, y'all, the easy way to do this is by putting it in y equals in your calculator. So I go to y equals, and I'm going to type in x squared plus 4. Now remember, what I want to do here is I want to look at my table. So I press second graph, because above graph in blue letters is table. And now, guys, I just want to find the y values for when x is -4, x is -2, and when x is 1. So let's scroll up to where x equals -4. And for my range, where x is -4, my y value is 20. So I write 20. Then at -2, my y value is 8. And at 1, my y value is 5. And that's my answer. See, that's not too bad, right? All right, for number 24. So they give me this whole thing. This is my function, and they ask me to find f of 3. Guys, remember, this value inside of your parentheses, this is x. So I want to find what is y when x equals 3. So I look at my little points here. Here x is 0, x is 1, x is 2. Here is where x is 3. So my y value is -3. We're almost done, y'all. The table below shows the relationship between the height of a plant H and the time in weeks W since it was planted. Identify the rate of change and explain it in context with the problem. Okay, so guys, remember, in a table, the first one they give you is usually your X's, and the second column is usually your Y's. So y'all, to find the rate of change, again, I know that the rate of change is the slope. Y'all, let's put this into stat edit again and make our lives a lot easier. So I'm going to do stat edit. I'm going to clear out my lists first, clear and enter, Go up to L2, press clear and enter. In L1, I'm going to type in 0, 1, 2, and 3. And in L2, I'm going to type in 4, 6, 8, and 10. Stat, over to calc, down number 4. And for my rate of change, again, that's my A value because A is married to X. So my rate of change is 2. So talking about this in regards to the problem, okay, so that means that my height of the plant, the height grows by 2, it doesn't really give me, I'm going to say 2 inches. So the height of the plant increases by 2 every week. So I'm going to say, which means the height increases by 2, and I'm going to say inches, every 1 week. Because remember, guys, your slope is your change in Y over your change in X. So that's why we are increasing, the height increases by 2 every 1 week. All right, and then for number 26 and 27, we are just going to do some Don't Call Me After Midnight review. All right, so let's go ahead and write out our Don't Call Me After Midnight steps. Don't call me after midnight. So here I check, I see some parentheses, so that's usually a good indicator that I'm going to have to distribute. In this case, it's that minus sign right there, right? It's like a -1. And I'm going to multiply that -1 into my 3x and into my 7. So that's going to be 4x. Now minus 3x minus 7 equals 9. I see some like terms to combine because I have a 4x and a minus 3x. 4x minus 3x is going to get me 1x. And that's 1x minus 7 equals 9. I don't see any other variables to move over. So now I know that I'm just trying to get this x by itself. So I want to do the opposite of what I see. I see minus 7, so I'm going to add 7 to both sides. And I have 1x. 1x is the same thing as just x. So that's x equals 9 plus 7, which is 16. And that's your answer. Number 27, don't call me after midnight, then we're going to be done. Again, I see some parentheses, so I'm going to do my distributing. Now, in this case, I have a -7 that I'm multiplying in. So I keep my 5 the same. 5 minus 7y minus 7 equals -10y plus 4. Again, I see some like terms to combine because I have a 5 and a -7 here. 5 minus 7, if you want to do that in your calculator, 5 minus 7 gives me -2. So I'm going to have -7y minus 2 equals -10y plus 4. Now, in this case, I have a y on both sides of my equal sign. So I am going to have to use this middle m right here because I need to move one of my y's over. Again, guys, I use my smaller of the y's because I like for my variable to be positive. In this case, -10 is smaller. So I'm going to add the 10y to both sides. So my 10y's cancel out and I'm left with -7. If I want to do -7 plus 10, that should get you 3. So I have 3y minus 2 equals 4. I'm going to box my 3y. That's what I'm trying to find. So now I need to do the opposite of what I see. I see -2, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides. 3y equals 6. And now I need to end it by getting that y by itself. So I divide both sides by 3. So that's y equals 6 divided by 3, which is 2. All right, guys, that is the end of review number 5. Make sure you have this completed and ready to turn in tomorrow and study for your test.